right? like he's Tesla, tapping into the atmosphere. I know, this is always uncomfortable. I know, you bought into it, right? That whole advertising, the way they aligned themselves with some of the greatest people of all time. Jesus, Gandhi, me. Remember that? Muhammad Ali, John Lennon, this guy. How the fuck was that dude like any of them? Gandhi didn't have a sweatshop. Nah, he didn't have people leaping to their deaths only to catch a net and get ricocheted back through the window to have to put together yet another iPad. John Lennon didn't have children in his basement pressing those fucking albums. I know. New phone can't fit the old charger. This is your hero? This is the guy? This is what all the silence is about? New phone can't fit the old charger, so then you gotta throw it out, ends up in the ocean around some octopus's neck. Do you realize how much sea life is ecstatic that that man is no longer walking the earth? That's where it all ends up, you know. Doesn't go in a landfill, ends up in the ocean. You realize that? I hate people who say I don't pollute. I don't pollute. Yeah, you do. You use shit and you throw it out. Well, you think because you put it in like a basket, it just poof, disappears? Everything you ever used is somewhere. You ever think about that? Remember that flannel shirt you bought back in the day when you got into Pearl Jam? That's out there somewhere. Probably on some porpoise's face. He's trying to get it off. Stupid little flippers. All the fads. You remember rollerblading? Remember that? Everybody had them. We set up cones, we did little tricks, right? One little homophobic joke killed that entire fad. What's the hardest thing about rollerblading? Telling your parents you're gay. Full-grown adults. Dude, I'm not gay. I don't have the cooties. These mean I suck dick. And they just threw them out. They end up in the ocean. They're made out of plastic. They can't biodegrade. They just break down to little cubes. Fish are breathing them in. 6 months later, you're going out, you're getting sushi. You think you're being healthy. You're eating your old rollerblades. I'm becoming a psycho. I've realized that about myself. I am. I watch conspiracy theory and like slap fights till like 2 in the morning on YouTube, you know? Yeah, I start like piecing shit together. I'm becoming that guy. I'm like that guy, you know, when you sit there, you're sitting there drinking in a bar and all, you know, some guy's cool, you're talking about the game, then all of a sudden he's just like, you know, there's no gold behind our currency. You realize that? You're like, oh yeah, that's great. Pick up your drink, just fucking walk away. Oh, that's what I'm becoming. Totally into conspiracy. That's why I think Barack Obama is going to win the election. I think they're going to let him win. Because they're in the process of bankrupting this country, and I think that they need a black guy to blame it on. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Dude, it'll totally feed into the rednecks. They'll be like, you see what happened? Dude, he's only half black. Well, that's the half that did it. That's what happened. I bet the white half was saying. That's what, you know, see, I'm just fucking losing people. I am. I just look at TV and nothing makes sense to me. I'm sick of them telling me shit is shocking, that it's completely obvious. Crocodile hunter dies. Oh, can you fucking... Yes, I can totally believe it. It's why I watch the show. I watch it every week because I knew eventually he was going to fucking die. And I wanted to see it. Right? Oh, I like that Dog the Bounty Hunter video, or the phone message he left, you know. People are like, can you believe he left that racist message? It's like, dude, look at him. Look at him. Some redneck with a mullet down to his ass. He drives a pickup. He's got the gloves with the fingers cut off. Yeah, who would have thought he had a couple of fucked up ideas rolling around in his head, you know? Dude, you know what would have been shocking? If he could play the cello. That would have been shocking, right? Yeah, then you'd be sitting there like, God damn, look at Doc. Here it is. I thought he was some racist on his way to a steak and shake, and he's busting out a little Beethoven. God damn, I owe this guy an apology, you know? God, I'd love to see his iPod. I can't imagine the eclectic mix of music.
This is how much time I spend alone on the road, man. I actually spent so much time alone on the road, I actually like contemplated milk to the point I can't even fucking drink it anymore. Sitting there drinking, like, man, this stuff is great, tastes awesome, you know? Then I started thinking it comes out of the carton, and I just did the police work. It comes out of a cow, and I'm like, I am fucking suckling from another species. We have such a crazy relationship with cows. You ever think about that? No, you can nurse from it, you can eat it, right? You can tip it over when it's sleeping, but if you fuck it, you're going to jail. All right, I'm thinking about getting a dog, everybody. I am. No, I'm at the point. Nothing alive is dependent on me. I gotta get out of this tailspin, man. So I'm thinking about getting a dog. My girlfriend wants me to like adopt a dog. She's like, you want to adopt a dog? We should rescue one. You want to do that? I'm like, no, I don't. She's like, why not? I go, because I think a lot of those dogs, they're a little fucked in the head. Yeah, how do you think they ended up down there? It's like, dude, that's not a pet store. That's like doggy death row, all right? Why don't we just go to a prison and like adopt an inmate on the off chance that maybe they didn't commit the crime, you know, just roll the dice? Dude, fuck that. I want a brand new 2008 Bulldog, all right? I don't want some like 1995, half a Labrador. It's got part of its ear chewed off, you know? Every time I go to use the toaster, it starts freaking out. You know, because his last owner hung him from the ceiling fan every time the Jets didn't cover the over, you know? Dude, that is an animal. That thing could kill you. If a squirrel wanted to fuck me up, if it just started running at me, by the time I processed, like, is that a rat? Is that mechanical? By the time I figured it out, it would have ran up my leg and just taken chunks out of my ear. Then I got to tell that story for the rest of my life, sitting in a bar. Dude, what happened to you? A fucking squirrel, right? Never get laid again. That's what I'm saying, right? I get one of those crazy dogs, get up at like 3 in the morning to take a leak. Right, I'm shuffling to the bathroom, and that's the exact moment his previous owner used to come home shit-faced and beat the crap out of the dog, right? I got no clue. I'm just, sitting there shuffling to the bathroom. Meanwhile, the dog's getting all amped up, like, fuck this shit, man. I promised myself I wouldn't let this happen again, all right? Time to man up. Ah! It's flying at me. Takes a big chunk out of my neck. Then what? I'm laying on the ground bleeding. What are they going to do with the dog? They're going to take him right back down to the prison like some repeat offender, have like shackles on him and stuff. He's just sitting there hopping back in. We knew you'd be back. Yeah, go fuck yourself. Get me a milk bone, you know? Wheel him in like Hannibal Lecter with like that lampshade around his neck. I got to work on my temper, though. Something I really got to do. I let like the thoughts just spin away, you know? I was on a plane the other day. I actually had the urge to elbow an old lady in the face. It was like compelling. It was unbelievable. You know, when you go to get off a plane, there's like rules when you go to get off the plane, all right? It goes row by row by row. And this lady was all like, ooh, I'm 90. I get to cut everybody, right? So I'm competitive. I start fucking boxing her out, right? Start bringing down like the overhead luggage, you know? So she just starts like waddling around me. And all of a sudden I just feel my elbow like, dude, you're going to take this shit? This is ridiculous, man. The whole half of the plane is watching it. Come on, man. Come on. Dude, we got a wide open shot. Just real light. Poof. You know, I got to hit it that hard. And then you can play it off. I'm literally talking to my elbow like, dude, come on, man. We can't do this shit, all right? This chick's like 95 years old. We can't do it. I thought I had my body under control, and she got like to right about there, and then I felt my foot like, dude, we could still trip her. Still trip her. Just throwing that out.
I'm sick of Obama's wife. Yeah. This isn't some Republican rant either. It's just kind of first ladies in general. You know, I don't know what it is. All throughout my life, with each presidency, like these first ladies, they've just gotten more and more like chatty. You know? More and more chiming in, like leaning into the frame, spitting out their ideas. It's just like, well, why are you talking? Right? You weren't elected. Shut up. Your husband's not running a lemonade stand here. He's running the country. You don't just chime in. Let me guess, is this considered sexist? It is? Why? Well, okay, you just nodded there, lady. Let me ask you this, all right? Let's say you had a leak in your house, okay? You call a plumber up. He shows up, and he goes, yeah, I think the leak's coming from the upstairs bathroom. We need to shut it up, blah, blah. Then all of a sudden his wife walks in, who isn't a plumber. And he goes, hey, I'm actually thinking it's kind of pretty high. Wouldn't you be like, with all due respect, shut the up. I need a plumber in this moment. I'll extend an olive branch here. All right, at some point, there's going to be the first female president, right? Exactly. Which means at that moment, you're going to have the first male first lady, right? And when that happens, that dude needs to shut his trap. I don't want to hear a word out of him. I want to hear from the president. You, sir, go do some first lady stuff, all right? Go get yourself some gloves that go up to your elbows. Smile and nod during speeches. Go put your own flair redecorating the White House, right? Which leads you to Michelle Obama, right? Now she's sitting there holding up those hashtags. Remember that hashtag, bring back our girls? Remember that? It's like, it blew my mind. It's like, why are you showing me that? I'm a stand-up comedian. Like, what am I going to do to get those girls back? Why don't you look across the dinner table? It's like, you see that guy? That is the leader of the free world. Tell him to pick up a phone, call some Navy SEALs and solve it. What am I going to do? Show up with a sharpened mic stand? Hey, Michelle said to bring him back. Oh, it's unreal. I'll tell you what kills me. Hillary Clinton might run. She might run. That blows my mind. I mean, honestly, she became a senator. She went from being the president's wife to being a senator. Just like that. Lateral move. That's like Tom Brady's wife becoming the next quarterback of the Rams. It's like, what, you hanging out? You just pick it up? I sucked at sports, and then I banged Tom Brady, and I don't know what happened. I just picked up a ball. I started lacing it. I'm leading receivers. It was incredible. I knew it was going to be like this. You know what's funny? There's actually people out there that think a woman being president is actually a good idea. You know? Can you believe that? See that they do? That'll do something. That'll change things. How? How the is that going to change anything? Do you know what the president makes a year? The president makes $400 grand a year. That's it. He's trying to keep billionaires in line, making $400 grand a year. That's all he makes. He makes less than some people blogging on the internet. The president should have you money, right? He shouldn't be sitting there with his pockets turned inside. I need your help to get me the job, right? What do you guys all donate to the campaign? Is that what it is?
I'm at that age where everybody I know is getting married. Let me ask you a question. Why the hell do people keep getting married? You know what I mean? Isn't anybody looking at the stats? You know what I mean? 3 out of 4 marriages go right down the shitter, right? If you were going skydiving and they told you 3 out of 4 parachutes weren't going to open, you'd be like, yo, fuck that, I'm not going. Like, I don't like those odds. I have a 75% chance of splatting on the ground. But there's something about getting married. People just have to do it, right? They're just like, is this the line to lose half my shit? Awesome. This is gonna be great. No, I'm just kidding. I love women. I'm just not compatible with them. No, they got too much energy for me. You notice that's it? They always have to be doing something. You know, like they can't like take a day off, you know? You can't have a day off when you have a girlfriend. They just like see that open day. They're like, oh my God, let's fucking fill it up with shit. They just come at you with like one horrible idea after another. They have the worst ideas. They do. You ever get to this one, they'll be like, you want to go to brunch? You want to go to brunch on Sunday? And inside you're like, fucking no! But you can't say that. You got to keep her happy, right? So what do? You agree? Yeah, let's go to brunch. What a great idea. Why would you want to sleep in on a Sunday when you can go pay $52 for eggs? Now you're thinking. Then we can sit around and listen to your friends have moronic conversations about the eggs, you know, like, is that pesto?
Is that pesto in your omelet? Oh, it's asparagus. It's asparagus. I thought it was pesto.
I was dating this girl recently. She was like really into like women's issues, you know? Because women always go on TV, you know, they say all they want is to be treated exactly like guys. But if you listen to them, they don't. All they want is the good shit of being a guy. They're cherry picking. They look at a guy's life like it's like a buffet, right? Like you just can start picking out stuff, like same amount an hour, we'll take some of that. Pay for the movie, fuck that. You can keep that one, I don't like that one. This is nice, that's yucky, that's icky. Hey, come on, people, you can't choose. This girl gives me shit. She goes, well, why does a guy make more an hour to do the exact same job? I go, I'll tell you why. Because in the unlikely event that we're both on a Titanic and it starts to sink, for some fucked up reason, you get to leave with the kids and I have to stay. That's why I get the $1 more an hour. No, it's a $1 an hour surcharge. You hear a bump in the night, I gotta go check it out. Like, yes, he does have a knife. Anytime there's a hostage situation, who do they negotiate for? Well, at least let the women and children go. Well, what about me? You think I want to stay in the vault? Those 20 other sweaty guys sharing a bag of peanuts, you know? Praying to God I'm not the hostage who gets dragged out by the psycho with a gun to my head as he's asking the cops for a helicopter. Which I know he's not going to get, right? I know he's not getting the helicopter. So now I gotta make idle conversation with the 38 to my head going, dude, go for rent-a-car. I think you should go for the rent-a-car. See what I'm saying? Where are all those feminists then? You can't find them. They had no feminists in a house fire. You can take the most hardcore feminist, you know, some chick right in your face, you chauvinistic son of a bitch, you know, little short, little haircut, you know. Second those flames break out, she'll twist those little hairs into pigtails. Oh, I'm just a girl. I want to go play jump rope. No, that's why I hated that movie, the Titanic. Every girl I meet thinks that movie's romantic. It's irritating. So I think, that was really romantic, don't you think? It's like, no! It's a fucking horror film. And they're always like, why? I'm like, because all the guys die. See, you're watching it trying to relate, going, who would I be? You'd be that chick floating away in the big piece of luggage, right? I'm watching it going, who would I be? I'd be that dude when, like, the boat breaks in half, that dude who, like, falls straight down and bangs off the shit and goes in the water. That's who I'd be. I'd be wearing a tuxedo, not because I wanted to, but you wanted to dress up that night, right? I'd be falling the whole way down going, I should have fucked that chick in first class. All right, listen, I'm out of time. You guys are a lot of fun. Thank you very much. Good night.
No. I don't want to make my dad out like a psycho, man. My dad's the best dude I know, man. But, you know, I understand him, though. You know, he's like the exact opposite of me. You know, I planned out my life a little more, right? That's why I never got married. Never thought about getting married. It just looked horrific. It looked really difficult. It looked like a lot of them failed. Then if you had a kid, you have that whole weird situation, right? You got this thing that half looks like you, half looks like somebody you used to love and now want to slap the shit out of, right? Kid's coming up to the walk, you're like, son, just look to the right a little. Let me just kind of cheat, but Dad, I want to look at you. It's brutal. My dad was the exact opposite. Fell in love, got married, just started having kids. Had 5 kids by the time he was 33. Pre-Oprah, pre-Dr. Phil, pre-chicken soup for the holy fuck. I got 5 kids. I don't even know who I am yet. The pressure of that, feeding all those kids, man, I'm telling you. Every 3-4 days, he would just snap out of nowhere, you know? Can you pass the salt? Ah, you fucking bitch, how the fuck am I gonna make for this bullshit? Boom, he'd slam the door, have the car in 3rd gear by the time he got it to the end of the driveway. Bop, 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 bop. My mother would always do the exact same shit. Just lock the door behind him, turn around, look at the kids, and just be like, man, he's just crazy. He's just a crazy person. What is wrong with him? 8 hours later, he'd show up, no apology. She'd have dinner ready. She messed it up. He'd give her a rough time. Christ, you cooked the shit out of it. I don't know. I think I'll be a good dad, though. You know? I do. No, I analyzed it. I've actually finally come to the point. I want to have a kid, and I don't think it's that hard. I don't. Part of me really believes that, and the other part is I just like pissing off people with kids, you know? Whenever you say shit like that, oh, dude, you have no idea how difficult it is. This is a great one to say. Well, I mean, I got a dog. I mean, you know, how much dude, you can't even fucking compare it to a dog. Yeah, I can. I just did, and I'll do it again. Mine's got 4 legs. Yours only has 2. Go ahead. Yours bites someone and gets a timeout. Mine gets put down. Stakes are raised. No, I think I know. I think I know how to raise a kid. You know what it is? You just play catch with them. I think that's the big deal, man. That's how you raise a kid. You play catch with them. You just talk about life. You distract them by throwing the ball. They don't even notice. You're filling their heads up with your theories. Right? You don't do it the old school way, the way your parents used to. Sit down across from you. You want to tell me about your day? Did anybody offer you any drugs? You're learning about sex? You're like, dude, you're fucking freaking me out. I'm trying to eat a Pop-Tart here, right? No, you're just taking them back. You play catch with them. That's it. You talk about life, right? What's that, son? We're not going to church today. Fuck that. That's all a bunch of bullshit. God's everywhere, but I got to go down there to see him? Really? And he's mad at me down there and I owe you money? Go fuck yourself. That's stupid. It's ridiculous. It's in here. All right? It's not down. It's in here. They try to take it. It's in here. You do something good, you feel good. You do something bad, you feel bad, you know? Unless you're like a sociopath and you don't feel shit. You know? Unless you got somebody duct taped upside down in your apartment, you know? And if you do something like that, I want you to feel like you can come to me, you know? Yeah, come to me, confess all of that. We'll go down to the precinct. We'll tell them everything. Yeah, I'm gonna turn you in. This isn't fucking Dexter. What are you, out of your mind? There's some feel-good serial killer walking around. He only kills the bad people. Listen, I know your mother and I, we've been arguing a lot lately, all right? But I know, you know I love her. I love her to death, okay? It's weird. I love her to death, but when I watch her eat toast, I just want to choke her. I don't know what it is. It's the routine, right? Left, then the middle. Just why don't you just fold it in half and fucking eat it? You know what I mean? It's unreal. You know? That's when you know you met the right one. When you want to slap the shit out of him, but you don't. You know? You want to leave, but you don't. There's something about him you just can't fucking leave, right? So don't settle down till you meet one like that. That's when you know. Till then, put a condom on. Just bang as many as you can. So you don't have a midlife crisis. That's what you do. Don't tell your mother I'm telling you any of this shit either. Yeah. That's my game plan.
Y'all having a good time? All right, cool. You didn't give me the real white guy one. You having a good time? Yeah! Give it to me, man. All right. We're going to keep this thing rolling right here, y'all. Now, you may have seen this cat on Dave Chappelle's show, HBO's One Night Stand Premium Blend. He's one of the funniest Caucasians I know. Y'all show some love for Mr. Bill Burr. Let him hear it, y'all.
All right, thank you. All right, man, what's up? How you doing? Was this too quick a transition? You know what I mean? Like 9, 10 black dudes in a row and then like the whitest man on the planet. Let your eyes adjust. I was watching George Bush today, man. I don't want to be a dick or anything, but could that guy like rehearse before he gives a speech? You know what I mean? Just say it like a couple of times. How awful was he during that hurricane? He's just walking out, man. He's just like winging it. Walking out on the White House lawn, there's like sun in his eyes. He's just out there like, there was a hurricane. People are wet. People don't like being wet unless they're swimming in a pool. He sounded like a little kid giving a book report who like didn't read the book. He's just up there making up shit like, there was a dog. And he bit somebody, and they didn't like it. Every night, I gotta watch that idiot on the news, or they're doing stories about how fat kids are getting. You see that every night? Every night they're talking about kids are obese now.
Not fat kids, not chubby. They're obese, like bedridden. Like just laying there. Like I had my first heart attack when I was 4. I was riding on my big wheel. I couldn't feel my left side. I began to pass out. My head. Yo, I don't want to be a dick, but how do you get that fat that quick? I can see you're 30, 40 years old. You went to McDonald's for 20 years. You got a little gut going. But you're 5 years old. There's no excuse for that shit. I'm telling you, man, that's the parents' fault. You know, stop feeding him. He doesn't have any money. You know, seriously. You can't go get a job so he can go buy more food. He's got to eat whatever you give him. Just put a plate of seaweed right in front of him. Go ahead, eat it. I don't want to eat it. Good, go to bed. Those are your options. I own you until you're 18. Do some jumping jacks. No, but these parents are ridiculous. They act like they have no control. They're like, well, I don't know what to do. I mean, I tried to make him eat a salad, but he didn't want to eat it. He was like, no, I want a cupcake. I said, you can't have it. But then he sat on my chest, and I couldn't breathe, and I just wanted to get up after a while. People, you need tough love at that moment. If your kid is obese and he's still asking for cake, you got to be like, no, you little shit. You're eating carrots and celery until I can pick you up again. This is ridiculous. You got a goddamn hernia on your birthday. Look, I know that seems harsh to be making fun of obese kids. I'll tell you why I'm doing it. They don't really exist. At least to the level that they're saying. They're saying it's an epidemic. You know, which means when I leave the theater tonight, I should have, like, difficulty getting to my car because of all these fat fucking kids out there like, Jesus Christ, they're everywhere. They're like locusts. See if you can crawl over the top of them. There's like 15 of them. It's nice to be back here down in the South, man. I had a real weird experience last time I came down here. I was in Nashville, right? Sort of an awkward social situation, right? I'm sitting at this bar. There's this white dude sitting like 2 stools away. I don't know him. He doesn't know me. And that Terrell Owens story was in like sports news. So I try to make conversation. I'm like, man, look at this guy. This guy just signed a $40 million contract. He's already bitching, man. How much money do you need to make? And the dude looks at me. He's like, you know what I say? And then he looked over his shoulder, which I now know is the telltale sign that the N-word is coming, and it's coming hard. Oh, yeah, it's not going to be pronounced with the A. It's going to be with the R. And he hit the R. He, like, stuck the landing. There was, like, a dismount. Klan members high-fiving in the background, like doing the wave. Just out of nowhere. So now, immediately, I'm looking over my shoulder like, dude, what the hell are you doing? You know what I mean? I'm waiting for, like, this hail of black fists to come raining down on top of me. I hate when people do stuff like that. That dude made me part of, like, a potential ass-kicking that I had nothing to do with. You don't do shit like that. He just had that word, hot potato, just threw it in my lap. Like, trying to pass it down to the next white dude. I hate when people do that, man. You know, it's like, dude, feel me out first. Ask some questions. Do you like to fish? Have you ever fucked your sister, right? I start rattling off answers, then you go old school. You give me a pamphlet, you tell me about your militia. Don't just dive into it. That dude was one of the angriest people I ever met. I should have known that word was coming, because he was just watching Terrell, right? Anytime I would bring up, look at man, that guy's talking trash, he would just like flip out. He won't shut up! You know those people get like so mad they're not even looking at you? Their eyes are up, you just shut up and play the game! You know what's funny? I don't even like Terrell, but now I love the guy. Because every time I see him talking trash, I know this idiot in Nashville is just losing his mind, like kicking over his kitchen TV. Shut the fuck up! I like violence, man. I am. Not like when it happens to me or if I see it live. I like watching it on TV, you know? watching people, get attacked by animals. Just get blasted in the face or something, Like, I'm a huge sports fan. You know what my favorite, moment of, the last year was in sports? That Detroit Piston, Indiana Pacer bench clearing brawl. Wasn't that great? That was one of the greatest things I've ever seen. I was so confused when I watched ESPN that day. They were like, that was absolutely disgraceful. Basketball fans, it just must be it. I'm sitting there looking like, I'm a basketball fan. I loved it. I thoroughly enjoyed watching out-of-shape civilians get the shit kicked out of them by professional athletes. It was fascinating. And I think as sports fans, we kind of had it coming, right? Because how many times you gone to a game, right? You got a little too drunk, you started screaming at some dude on the field who could clearly kick the shit out of you, right? If you saw him in the parking lot, you'd be like, hey, can you sign my stamp collection? I think you're awesome. You get in the game, you're all drunk, you're like, you suck, buddy! You're a piece of shit! And they're always calling him up, come on up here! No, come on up here! Well, they came up there. They did, and they kicked the shit out of everybody. It was great. It was like a cartoon. You're like beating up whole rows of people at once, like... I loved every second. I love how Ron Artest punched the wrong guy. Wasn't that great? He taught that dude a valuable lesson in life. When shit goes down, you don't just stand there like you're watching a movie like, wow, it's coming right at me. Must be in 3D or something. That was a 5'6", 110-pound white dude, had an angry 6'10" black dude running right at him. That had to have been in his top 3 nightmares all time. Right behind getting his dick cut off and being lit on fire. And he just stood there. He's like trying to explain himself. Well, I still have the liquid in my cup, so there's no way I could have... He's an idiot. Listen, I'm out of time. You guys were awesome. Thank you very much.
Yeah, man. All right, y'all, I gotta bring my next dude out here. This is my homeboy from the STL. He's been rocking it for a long time all around the city. He did it.
It's great, man. You can just keep banging away. You can just keep banging away, making one useless, mediocre, not gonna invent shit kid after another. No, I don't understand people like that. So don't you realize after your third loser kid, you don't have the DNA to make somebody special? It's like, what are you doing? All you're doing, you're just making more in the way people just walking around, looking up at shit as you're trying to get down the sidewalk, Or you know that dude, whenever you go into the deli, there's always that guy in front of you, doesn't know what he wants. Oh, what kind of bread is that? It's like, dude, stop making that fucking guy. Jesus Christ, that dude is everywhere. That's why I love old people. I love old people. They always with their family photos, cracks me up. They always like, well, they're all proud, like, well, we had 5 kids, and then they all had 5, and da-da-da-da. It's like, yeah, none of you did shit. I don't recognize anybody in that photo. You just made 30 people who are all taking a shit every day that ends up in a river. That's not a family photo. That's an environmental disaster, and you framed it. No, that's my solution for global warming. Everybody's talking about cars and oil. That doesn't matter. It's just too many people, There's too many people doing it. It's just, you want to help the environment, just stop fucking. Right? I'm not saying stop fucking, but, pull out. You can still have your fun, right? But you gotta stop looking at babies like they're these cute things, all right? They're not. They are cute, but most of them are just gonna grow up, they're just gonna end up being another shithead in like an SUV that doesn't pull out far enough into the intersection, right? Now you gotta wait a whole nother light to make a left, and you're just sitting there losing your shit, screaming at your windshield with this dude who didn't need to exist. It's like, there's no reason for that guy. We got that guy. I don't know. That's my plan. They should just make babies illegal for like the next 25, 30 years, right? That'd be great. Think about it. Somebody's born, 3 people are born every second to 1 person dying, right? So if you're not making anybody, it's like, bam, somebody just died, right? Somebody just fell down some stairs. Somebody just tripped over a skateboard, right? And you know what? Fucking lanes just opening up on the highway, right? You get to work a little sooner. You're in a better mood. Dude, you get it down to like 30,000 people. 30,000 people will be the shit. Right? Super Bowl comes around, everybody can go. Right? Everybody can go. 22, you get to play. The odds of you making it in the NFL, it's ridiculous. Dude, even if you suck, you could block on punts. You'd be like a wedge breaker, or maybe be that guy holding the first down marker, like, yeah, I'm fucking doing something. You wouldn't have to recycle. Dude, if there was 30,000 people, man, everybody here, you could literally drive your own tank. You could drive a tank, you could throw toxic waste out the top. You could shoot a bald eagle right in the head. There's plenty of them. Plenty of them. Dude, they're shitting all over my tank. What the fuck am I supposed to do? Look, people, I don't read, okay? Seriously, none of my shit is researched, you know? But out of all the bullshit I'm talking up here, I think I'm onto something with this, you know? It's like I'm eliminating people, but like no one has to die. That's it, just stop making... Dude, we're gonna end up like China. They got like over 1 billion people, just jam-packed. Every day is like the subway. If you're just standing there, you can't even fall asleep. Like, oh, shit, sorry about that. Just jam-packed. You never think about that shit? Just standing there. We're gonna be sitting there. First of all, how easy is it to get away with the crime over in China, you know? First of all, you pick somebody's pocket, you don't have to run away. You just fucking weave your way back into the crowd, just fucking stand over here. Guy's standing there like, dude, somebody just took my wallet. Dude, he's right over there. He's right there. Dude, he's got black hair, he's 5'5", he's dressed like he's in Reservoir Dogs. He's right over there. No, that's where we're going to be headed. How many more strip malls can you make? Places to get donuts and people to get their nails done. Everybody's all excited. This area is really exploding. It's really exploding. Human beings have empathy. Some woman will fall in love. Well, he's nice. He wears a sweater. He likes to bake. You know. He lets me finish my stories. Which is all great qualities. Okay? But you gotta know, when you shack up with a guy like that, you're rolling the dice. You're rolling the dice that fucking axe murderer is gonna pick the next house over. Because God forbid he picks your goddamn house. This is the dude who has your back, who's gonna be screaming louder and higher than you when this guy comes through the fucking door. And you're gonna turn around and all you're gonna see is his cowardly feet going out the kitchen window. I don't know, man. That's risky. You know, in reality, I'm being too hard on that guy, you know? Yeah, I am. Because I was just as scared as he was. Except I didn't scream out like he did. And that's simple. The simple reason was this dude, he was hugged too much as a child. Having people go, how was your day? What's wrong? And all of that shit, you know? That's why I came down here, man. I'm telling you. I came out here to tell you guys, you got to stop hugging your children. You know? You are ruining this country. Now, you can hug your daughters. You got to do that. You got to do that. Hug those hooker shoes right out of them. Let them know that you're a good man and to find another man like you. You got to do that. But your son, you can hug him a little bit, but every 3-4, you got to fucking knock him down, right? Come on, it didn't hurt. Get up. Look, I didn't come from a family. I don't know about you guys. I didn't come from a touchy-feely. Call me when you get there. None of that shit. First time my mom hugged me, I think it was like once when I was little and then when I moved out. That was it. And we only hugged because we knew we were supposed to. So we just tried to it was like 2 parking meters came to life. Like, we almost bumped heads. It was horrific. Fucking horrific. You know, to this day, sometimes I drive down the street and I think about that hug, and it's just it's so awful, I have to shout the memory out of my head. I'll just be driving down the street, just be like, ah! Ah! Anybody else like that? You ever have to shout stuff out of your head? There's something about me, all my regret comes up when I'm in the shower. I don't know what it is. I think because I'm in the shower and I have time to think. And I'll just think of shit I did in 3rd grade, where I just made an ass of myself, and I just will be in the shower just being like, ah! Ah! And my wife's always just like, is everything okay in there? And I'll just be like, yeah, just accidentally turn on the hot water. Turn it on too much. Every day? So, yeah. I actually asked my mother one time when I finally got out in the world and I saw how other families interacted. I finally asked her one day, I was like, how come we never did the hugging thing? You know what I mean? How come we didn't do that stuff? She's like, well, I wanted to hug you kids when you were little, but I was afraid it was going to make you gay. And I was like, you were afraid? You were afraid? And then she goes, well, it was your father. That's what it was. Protecting him like I always do. He was afraid. He said, you don't know how to raise boys. And if you hug them, that's what's going to happen. So in a marriage, there's compromises. So. Yeah. So she basically never hugged us because my dad said if she did, it was going to make us gay. And I got to tell you, that was a great thing that my dad did for me. Let me finish before you start blogging, okay? And I end up on a split screen on Good Morning Atlanta, you know? Comedy, can it go too far? Last night was a tabernacle. Sitting there next to some fucking Cheeto-eating blogger. So, yeah, this is the deal. I'm going to defend my dad here because this is basically what happens when you have a kid. As far as I know, I don't have any kids, but as far as I would think, if you have a fucking kid, what do you want to do? You want to improve on your childhood, okay? You want to keep the shit that your parents did that worked, and then you want to get rid of the stuff that didn't work. So that was my dad, as fucked up as that was his improvement on his childhood that he never talks about, the way a veteran doesn't talk about going to war, you know? So I figure if that was his improvement on his childhood just must have been something like, don't change his shitty diaper. Let him figure it out for himself. Get out in the rain, you shitty baby. Hey, let me handle this, lady. Why are you still standing here, you shit toddler? So, he took it from that and knocked it down to, don't hug him, it's gonna make him gay, right? And then maybe someday I have a kid, I'll whittle it down to like, hey, he's not taking drama class, all right? He's not taking drama class because I said so, lady! Let me handle it! I won't fix everything. Yeah, and that's not a homophobic thing either, that I wouldn't send my hypothetical son to drama class, okay? It isn't. I'd let my hypothetical daughter take a drama class, okay? My son can't fucking do any of that shit unless I'm sending him to one of those fame high schools, you know, where everybody's doing it. One of those creative schools. You go to the cafeteria, everybody's like, cottage cheese, what is it made of? Right? Like, then he can do all he wants. Then he can do all the fuck he wants. But there's no way I'm letting him do that in a public school with those goddamn animals. He's gonna get the shit kicked out of him. He's gonna come home with his underwear up his ass, and then I have to be the adult and go down to the principal and be like, oh, there's some sort of tomfoolery going on around here. I don't want to do that. I want to find the fucking 8-year-old. What is he, this tall? I want to find the kid that did it to my kid, tip him upside down into some sand or a puddle, anywhere where oxygen is going to be an issue, right? And just leave him there. Right? And you wait till that one leg just starts shaking so you know he's down to his last breath. And then you turn him upside down, you're upside right, you grab him by his throat, and you just say something horrific. You ever do that again, I'm going to beat your mother to death with the family dog. Right? Over. So, yeah, a lot in my life has changed since I last came through here to Atlanta. Yeah, I got married. That's the big thing. Yes, I did. Very happy about that. I'm very happy with that because it was starting to get weird, you know? It's like 45 years old. Oh, my girlfriend. Yeah, we're going to go out and get some pop, you know? Going to parties. It was just weird because I hang out with people my age, you know, and they all got married. They all had kids. And I just couldn't contribute when people were standing around talking about marriages and kids, you know? I feel like a little kid. They're sitting there going like, oh, the superintendent of the mayoral candidate will be bi-coastal, bipartisan with the Middle Eastern crisis. And just...
This is what my girlfriend did one night when I was driving home. This is how much they manipulate, or as I call it, lie, to get what they want. I was driving home, and I was looking at there was this diner. And I was driving home, and it was late at night. I was like, hey, I'm going to stop there. I'm going to get one of those milkshakes. And you were just like, oh, my God.
I hate when you do that generic female voice.
Fuck you. It's hilarious. Let's not forget, at the end of the day, my job is to make those people laugh. Okay, Nia? You don't understand. These people work hard all week. These are Americans. They need to come out and forget about their problems. No, whatever. I don't have, what am I, Mel Blanc? I got one fucking voice. I do. Nice reference. I watch cartoons. Really? Is that all it takes to impress you on a first date? That's how you ended up with me. He knows who does the voice of Bugs Bunny. This guy's a keeper. I think this guy will be able to provide.
Have you ever told that story?
What?
The first night that we ever hung out.
When I hooked up? We'll save that for another one.
Okay.
But you gotta tell me, huh? You had to be impressed with my skills.
Yeah. Well, yes.
You see that? They just won't give it up. This guy was fucking cock blocking me on an Olympic level. He saw I was going to hook up. He actually tried to split a cab with you.
Yeah, I know.
On the way home, and I got around that.
Yeah.
Got around that. What happened? I fucking put the cards. I went all in, just like World Series of Poker. I went all fucking in. She was trying to be all coy with the little Sammy Davis Jr. hat on, trying to play all hard to get. Huh? Thinking you were dealing with the sophomore in fucking college, like I didn't have any fucking lines?
All right.
Yeah. When that douchebag kept coming over, cock blocking me, he invited, we were all set. I was hanging out. I'm going to tell right now. We were hanging out, right? Me and this other dude. And all of a sudden, Nia shows up, right? And I can see the vibe. I see the look on her face. I know she wants it. No. I don't know. I just,
And we had met before. So.
Shut up. You look great. You came up, you had a nice big smile, and you're being flirtatious, and I immediately liked you, right? So you went to the bathroom. You're with a friend. I'm with a friend. Every guy knows what you're supposed to do. Take that fucking battle axe out of the picture. Okay? Take one for the team. I can't remember who the fuck you were with, so if it's one of your friends, I apologize.
Yeah, not a battle axe.
Whatever. All right. A war memorial. So what is this fucking... He goes the opposite route. I said, you went to the bathroom. I said, listen, I'm really doing well with this girl, all right? So, dude, I had to like... He was like a chick.
Be your wingman is what you
No, I had to be like, so if I'm not paying attention to you, don't get upset. This is how, like, female this dude was, right? So I fucking... This is what he ends up doing, okay? The fucking guy ends up, as we're going to leave, you know, I'm thinking, okay, he's going to try to peel off with your girl who's not a battle axe, and he just goes, he invites another dude over and goes, hey, you guys all want to get something to eat? Remember?
Yeah.
And remember? And he invited us over. Now we're sitting there. It's me, you, your not-so-battle axe friends, and 3 other fucking cocks are sitting there, and I'm trying to hit on you.
Yeah.
And he keeps jumping in. And then he goes, hey, Nia, where do you live? Oh, I live up that way. You want to split a cab?
Right.
Remember that?
I do. And I had to be like, no.
No, you didn't. It was over at that point. I made the move. Remember that? I said, are you at least... But before he fucking said that shit, he was doing everything. I remember I didn't have any cash, and I pulled out my credit card. I said, you guys just give me the cash or just put it on my credit card. And he goes, oh, he's just trying to get the miles. Remember that? Anything he'd do to make me look like a shithead.
You paid for the whole thing. I thought you were like, bam, I'm paying for the whole meal.
No,
everyone gave
No, they gave me money because I didn't have any cash.
You paid for mine.
This is how I got you.
That's what
Which
it
you were
was.
sitting there, and I said, look, are we at least going to be able to split a cab? Because I wanted to go over and have a drink with you.
Right.
And I was like, at least be able to split a cab. And then you like, why? Why do you want to split a cab? Just putting up the roadblock? And that's when I went all in. I said, because I want to kiss you. Bam. Right.
Yeah.
And then that was it. I didn't fucking talk to you after that. Yeah, you sat there with that little stunned look on your face. Then what happened? Then we walked
You were
outside.
really,
then
like, proud of yourself
then we
right
walked
now.
out. That was the shit. That was one of the greatest. I used to, the fucking guys like that used to always get me. I fucking nailed that. Stuck the landing. Like a male Mary Lou Retton. And you know what the best part was? Then I stood up. And at that point I was like, fuck it. I said what I wanted to do. All this shit is in. I don't need to talk to her anymore. And I sort of peeled off, right? And then everybody got up to leave, and then you kind of tugged me on the shoulder and said, don't worry. You said, like, don't worry, we're going to split a cab uptime. And then I'm like, oh, this is going to be great, because now I'm in, and now I'm going to get to watch that little fucking cock block get his balls knocked on the fucking sidewalk. And that's what happened. He came out, right? He clapped his hands. Remember that? Came out just like this. And he was just like, so, you guys ready to go?
Yeah.
And you were like, yeah, actually, we're taking a cab. And he was so in cock block mode, he still didn't know. He's like, no, I live right near you. Yeah. And you were like, listen, we're taking a cab, and we're going uptown. And you leaned over and you said it, and then that's when he realized that everyone realized he was a cock-blocking douche. And then what did he do? He goes, oh, yeah, I mean, yeah. He just fucking peeled off.
Yeah.
Huh? Then what happened?
We can't talk about that.
My other fucking classic line? Boy, I fucking reeled you in was a masterpiece. Fucking masterpiece. Then we got in the cab, and you said, I thought you were going to kiss me. And we fucking driving like a maniac, and I go, I can't. The cab's jumping around too much. I go, I'll kiss you at the first red light.
You're just really trying to, like,
right?
drag it out. You were trying to make this whole, like...
I was fucking seducing you, and it worked. Right? Then we hit the fucking red light.
Yeah.
I put one on you.
You did.
Bam. Right? Couldn't feel your fucking feet. I'm going to make this story last 9 hours long. And then you know what happened?
Really? Jesus.
Then I sat back and I was playing Mr. Fucking Cool again like I'm fucking Walt Frazier in 1972. Oh, the callback to the Knicks from an hour ago, right? Then what happened? We stopped again, and I'm sitting there looking out the window, and you go, it's another red light, right?
Oh
and then
my God,
and then we heard that cheesy saxophone from every fucking sexy movie in the 80s. Right? And then you were going, I'm not going home with you. I'm not going home with you. Now, whenever they say that, guys, you know they're not going home with you. You know that shit. So what you have to do is you have to constantly make them feel like it's safe and they're in control. So before you said you weren't going home with me, I felt your vibe. I knew the deal. So I just said, listen, I know we're not going home together, but I'm really having a good time with you. I'd like to have another drink with you. All right? I know a nice bar. Ba, 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 and bam. Right?
And I did not go home with
You didn't go home with me. We had like fucking 8 more drinks and made out for like the next 5 hours in that fucking Hell's Kitchen bar. Had a great time.
Yeah.
There you go. So there's a little story, people. There's your little